Diffusion number 3, violet. We can see a massive spread already. We're losing a little bit of the punchy center of the light source. If we have a look at the shadow, look, I'm like 1.5 meters away. It's almost gone again, almost invisible. And this from a 25 by 25 centimeter reflector. It's actually kind of small source for this kind of a spread and diffusion. Yeah, you can see like this, the spread is almost like bigger. Okay, we use this light source, of course, obviously a lot when we want to have diffused light coming into a room. It's almost like an overcast day, but we still need kind of a clear direction of the light source. I wouldn't want to call it punchy anymore. This is what we would do with the blue more. It's more like an even, soft spread of light. Okay, but let's have a look at this when we actually use it for lighting a room.
Okay, I'm coming slowly into the light beam. And now I have 100% on you, Jacob.
That gives us a 4.5 in the face.
Okay, and now I tilt the reflector a little bit down to get some shade on the ceiling, some more contrast in the room.
Yeah, it's really nice to see how actually there's a gradient. Can you tilt it down even a little bit more? More? Yeah, stop. So you can see actually how we've got bright down here and dark on the top. And same here as well without the use of flags.
Okay, let's move a little bit out of the reflector, out of the lamp to the right to get a little wraparound in Jacob's face, but still keep the wall dark. I try my best.
And you can see on the that we get much more punch. So, and this has to do with that diffusion number 3 already has 97% total reflection rate, which means you only have 3% light loss. So it's a tremendous amount of light that actually we're still capturing.
And like you can see, it's much more easier to zone your violet reflector against the white. You're much more direct, but still have a really nice soft light in the room.
Yeah, it's just this punch here, but it still has this beautiful, I really like the shadows that it creates.
Okay, let's have a look at the meter. I'm slowly tilting it in. Okay, now we have 100% on you, Jacob.
And we gained a halfway f-stop. Now we're at 5.6. And you can see in the back the shadow of the stand. It's actually still quite soft and diffused. That of course still has a lot to do that we've got more wraparound effect than on the 50 by 50. As we talked about earlier, you'll have the maximum amount of wraparound on the Diffusion 4 white, and you're going to increasingly get less wraparound. So we'll see this in course of the videos. Manuel, maybe let's have a look at the 25 compared to the 50 to actually still show on the shadow in the background what the crispiness does.
Okay. So there's a 25, 100% on you.
Yeah, can you aim it a little bit up to the back? To the
Yes.
Perfect. You can see how sharp the shadows are getting. I mean, it's still soft, yeah, but it's much sharper now than we've seen in the meter by meter, and this has exactly to do with the wraparound effect, that we had a big surface, and now we just reduced the surface, so obviously we're getting a more punchier shadow.
What did you spot with the 25? Show me how much you spot.
Yeah, we've lost again light, of course, and now we're in a 2.8.5, which has to do again with the same thing. If you increase the size of the reflector in the light source, you can obviously get more light out of it. So now that we're only having a smaller reflector size, obviously we're getting less light as well. It's also a way of, you know, like a scrim maybe sometimes even, if you're not worried about shadows.
But look how cool it is to zone your light now. Really can move around and create some effects you maybe like. You really can play around and try new things.
Yeah. Like with the violet one, I wouldn't use it really or recommend it that much to add some fill light into the face. Maybe if it's a very bright key source, you could do so. But obviously, like Manuel is doing right now, it's great to take the smaller diffusion number 3 just to add a little bit of punch to the table and do something like that. But Manuel, maybe let's have a look at that. Let's take the meter by meter and then you just add a smaller source and we get some more punch.
And you want to show the punch with the 25?
If you tilt it down a little bit more, like it's more
Yeah.
skylight than direct light, even more. More. Okay, now you have the feeling of a bright sky basically coming in.
Show it with the violet again.
And now, yeah, you take the 25 violet and just add something on